let's catch everybody up on Ted's current legal status.
I'm glad you mentioned
They,
it.
I know Ted's. I know both his sons. One's Ted Jr. and I forgot the other's name, but
Brett.
one of them, Brett, and I don't know. I'm just going to hit the top of this. Is all I know. I think one of his kids went to work with with the state of Mississippi in their educational office, and they got some kind of grants, something from the federal government that somehow was corrupted into other accounts. And one of his sons has already pleaded like guilty.
Yes, Brett has. He's pleaded guilty to maybe, this is off the top of my head, I've not written it down, maybe like almost $900,000 worth of misappropriation of funds. Ted DiBiase Jr. has been indicted on a number of offences that total well over not over seven figures, but well into the seven figures. And I'm glad you mentioned this because I actually have the quote that Ted gave a podcast called Going Ringside, apparently, when the hosts apparently bring up all this, and Ted responds, Ted Sr., and all of that, the indictments and such, is a bunch of garbage. I'm not at liberty to talk about it, but it's kind of like they're looking for a scapegoat. We're caught in the middle of it, DiBiase added. If I didn't have a celebrity name, they wouldn't even be looking at me. That's right. If you didn't have a celebrity name, the government would not be bothered about missing nearly $5 million worth of misappropriated funds from the Mississippi state.
Well, I hate that Ted's even involved in this because I like Ted. But if they got a paper trail, and who else is involved in this is the NFL quarterback, Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he may have paid, he got paid for speeches he never gave. I mean, and these speeches aren't cheap. I'm thinking, I forgot what they paid him, like $500,000 to go speak to somebody.
Ultimately, he got like, what, 8 million or something like. We've already talked about all this on a previous podcast. We did go, I think it was the Kenny Bowling one? No, it wasn't. But we've done an in-depth one on this already. But Brett Favre, not Favre apparently, because that was the something about Mary pronunciation that only I've heard. But yeah, I think he's the most famous, and the DiBiase's under him are the second most famous, and probably the second most amount of money taken or supposedly, allegedly misappropriated as well. But the reason I wanted to bring up that Ted Senior was saying that all this is a bunch of garbage, quote, is how can it be when one of your sons has already pled guilty and the second son is being indicted on numerous offences, and there's, as you said this is a quote from you, the federal government doesn't open these charges. They don't start proceedings to lose these cases. They've got something solid on you if they're actually going to open them in the first place.
Well, my feelings on the federal government vary according to what they're doing, but they can't open these cases with no evidence whatsoever. And I'm not saying that anybody's guilty or anybody's innocent, but I kind of side with maybe the guilty side more than anything else. You got to be very careful with federal funds. They are a stickler for detail. And listen, if you're going to steal money or take money, take it from, I don't know, don't take it from the federal government. They got lawyers out to yin yang. They can just investigate you to death. They can actually break you by just investigating you, just for you to get representation yourself. I mean, I don't know what it's cost Ted and his son, but I doubt if the federal government's picking up any of it.
Sorry, they've got plenty of money.
So, they took $5 million.
Yeah, they've got plenty of money for lawyers, don't worry.
Yeah. But anyway, I can't say if they're guilty or not. I hope they're not. I hope what Ted said is true. But I don't know.
Well, Brett is. He's already pled guilty. We'll move on.